Welcome in, everybody. Today we're going to look at the top 3 weapons to build on a budget. So, my absolute favorite value gun in Tarkov right now is the MP-153 shotgun. Now, trust me, before you roll your eyes and turn off this video, stick with me. I promise I will convince you. And so when I'm looking for budget guns, I'm looking for 2 things. A, obviously something that's not going to hurt my bank account, and B, something that's going to take on anyone who comes at me, whether that's chads, rats, bosses, rogues, and the MP-153 hits both of those. If you're going into anywhere that's enclosed space, think interchange, if you're running at dorms, chalet, factory, this thing is a bulldog. It takes on all comers, and it does so at a very, very cheap price point. Walking over to our good friend Jaeger here, we can see that that is under 30,000 rubles. It is dirt cheap. And what's really beautiful about this gun is it more or less comes ready to go. You know, you don't have to make too many modifications to it here. The ones that I would absolutely recommend would be adding the 8-shell magazine. Now, you get 2 options here. Make sure to pick the 133 option because it's going to reduce your ergonomics by less. And, you know, if you got 9 shells, 8 in the mag plus 1 in the chamber, you should be able to take out anyone who comes at you. And if you can't, don't worry. We got a 75-round option coming up. The only other change I'd recommend is you throw on the rail mount here, and then you can put on whatever scope you want. And what's beautiful about those 2 modifications is that they are going to run you under 6,000 rubles. Dirt cheap. We're at under 35,000 rubles for the whole gun. Then just throw on your favorite scope here, and you're good to go. One thing I'd actually recommend is if you don't put on a flashy scope, you're going to get this thing back from insurance 9 times out of 10. You won't be able to give this thing away because the reason that this has such killing power is not the gun itself, but it's the ammo that we're going to be talking about, the AP-20s and the Flechettes. But when it comes to this gun, we're at 35,000 rubles now. But if you wanted, you could soup this up, add the spurt to get all of your tactical devices on. You could put 3 flashlights here and burn people's retinas out. And if you're looking to improve on any of the recoil stats, you can put on the adapter and then put on the GK, which significantly reduces it, or the Monster Claw, which is a bit more expensive but super reduces it. And if you're looking to improve on ergonomics or recoil even further, of course, you can always soup it up, add the pistol grip, add the stock, and then pick your favorite stock in order to make it as good as possible. This is what it would look like from a stats perspective if you really soup it up for a recoil perspective, and I'll show you the difference here. Here we are in our hideout with our bare bones option without the scope, as well as our souped up recoil version just to see the difference. We got 9 Flechettes in each. Notice how this kind of wobbles up all and down, so if you're doing this, make sure you're taking some time between shots. But if we soup it up for recoil, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Stays right on target. This is going to take down anybody that's coming your way. If you really want to see how good the AP-20s are in action, we have a video where we got 8 PMC kills in a single raid using the AP-20s. Feel free to go check that out. Now, what really makes these shotguns so good as a budget gun is that the ammo they shoot is absolutely S tier. Now, the 2 rounds you want are the AP-20s and the Flechettes. And starting off, the AP-20s absolutely hit like a truck. These things have 167 flesh damage, 37 penetration, making it one of the best rounds in the game. Because it's a slug, you can devastate people from long range. We've actually gotten, 100-meter kills with this. With that 37 penetration, it gives you a chance to one-tap people in the thorax through tier 4 armor, which, given the changes they made to the flea market this wipe, is such an important thing for an ammo to be able to do. But this ammo is amazing. The Flechettes, on the other hand, are completely different. Unlike the AP-20 shooting 1 shell, or 1 slug rather, you're shooting about 8 pellets out of this. And even though the stats don't jump off the page, this thing is devastating at close range. You know, if you're inside, you know, like resort or factory, interchange, anywhere up close, and you put a flechette on an enemy, if they're not dead in that first shot, and oftentimes they are, their armor is going to be zeroed. This thing shreds armors, and that second shot's going to be fatal. I've been having an unbelievable amount of fun with these recently, and they feel like one of the strongest rounds in Tarkov right now. Now, I promised you a 75 round value option, and here we go with our OP-SKS. This is actually something I started using recently and have had really, really good results. And again, it hits our 2 criteria. It is super cheap, and it can take out anyone who's coming at you. From a cheapness perspective, you know, we can filter by item, and we can see 16,000 ruples for this rifle. And in addition to that, you go into any raid and start taking out scavs. Trust me, you're going to find 1 or 2 of these. And again, what's really nice about this gun is it does not take it much to get ready. You know, stats aside, all you need to do to set this up, put on a dovetail mount. And from the mount, if you're going super cheap, super bare bones option, I like to put on the just the dove mount and change the mag. Again, you know, from a 10 rounder, you know, we have a 35 round, a 20 round, and the 75 round option. But again, if you're going for super bare bones option, this is all you need. You know, a 20 round mag plus a scope, and when you're shooting that nice 7.62 ammo, this thing is going to take out anyone that's coming at you. And I like to use this if I'm going into slightly more open areas, you know, thinking lighthouse, maybe reserve or customs. And it's a really, really nice rifle option for that. But you can absolutely soup this up, which is where we can have a little bit of fun with it. You know, we can put on that 75 round drum mag, which you can literally shoot forever. And if you're looking to maybe have a better optic or put this in the sniper category, which you absolutely can. Now, this is going to take a little bit more ruples here, but you can put on the Cobra mount, and from the Cobra mount, you know, you can see our scope options really start to go up here. I love the Valde, great for sniping. And let's say you are using this to snipe, you know, you're doing Shooterborn in Heaven with this, which it's possible. You know, you can put on that Hexagon SKS, and they're really not going to know where you're shooting from. But this thing is super customizable, super cheap if you're going with the bare bones option, and it's still going to be able to take out anyone because of the PS and the BP ammo I'll talk about here in a second. But again, another really great rifle option and one of the best budget guns out there. Now, coming out of the SKS, I'm usually shooting either the PS round if I'm looking for super budget, or if I'm feeling a bit spicier and willing to spend a lot more, I will use the BP round. But both of these rounds are really going to carry you through anything that you might see in Tarkov. They're that good. The PS round comes in at 57 flesh damage as well as 32 penetration. It is going to 2 to 3 tap any tier 4 armors, and it's going to take you through most of the content in this game, and you can buy more or less an unlimited amount at 90 ruples a shot, making it probably the best budget ammo in the entire game. Now, the BP round, a lot more expensive and is locked behind a quest, but this is going to take you through literally everything you see. Bosses, chads, rats. It will 2-tap in the chest, tier 5 armor. It comes in at 58 damage and 47 pen, and makes a very strong case for the best round in the game. But again, what makes this such a great budget loadout is no matter which of these ammos you're using, you are shooting an incredible ammo out of a very cheap gun, making it, again, one of the best budget loadouts you can have this wipe. So here we have our two SKS options. This is the bare bones 20-round mag with the dovetail scope. And as you can see, though, still accurate. Sounds nice. Some kills. Fire it nice and close. Here is our more expensive option if you're looking to snipe with this. We have the suppressor, the Cobra mount where we have a nicer scope on, and of course the 75-round drum mag. And this thing sounds gorgeous. It shoots well. It shoots accurate. It's a beautiful gun. And it's shooting, like I said, the BP round probably my favorite overall round in the game. I'm just curious, what is everyone else's favorite round, and why do you think it's better than the BP? So my final entry on this list is something that's a little bit controversial, because I know some people absolutely swear by it. Some people think it's dog water tier. I personally have had a lot of success with it, so I felt the need to add it to this list, and it is the RFB rifle. Now, this is a little bit more expensive than the other options that we picked. If we go over to our good friend Skier here, level 2, we see we can get this for 55,199 rubles. That's, again, a little bit more expensive, but by no stretch of the imagination is that breaking your bank. If we see here, you know, some of the recoil stats are a little bit higher than some of the other options you can get, but this is something you're really going to want to one-tap, you know, with how good the 7.62x51 round is. You're going to be melting people. You don't need to be full autoing this, and so that's not a huge concern for me. And like our other options, what's really great about this is it is more or less ready to go off the shelf. All you need to do is add your favorite scope here, and you're ready to go. And I'll use this on pretty much any map. You know, if I'm going into factory, dorms, any of the close range maps, I'll use one of my favorite red dot sites. I like these EO techs. If I'm looking to snipe on woods or reserve, which admittedly I don't do too often, I'm more than happy to throw on one of these ring mounts. I've been liking the Henselt for sniping. Use this to farm rogues, and if you need help doing that, please check out one of our other videos. But with the RFB, you can soup this up a little bit more. You know, add your favorite foregrip here to improve the recoil or ergonomics. On the front of it, you can add a suppressor. Of course, this starts to get a little bit more expensive as you do that. The one issue, of course, with the RFB is you cannot add a tactical device. But considering how cheap this is for the killing potential in Raid, I'm absolutely willing to overlook that. Particularly when this is shooting one of the best rounds in the game that I'll get to here shortly. But again, another great option that is ready to go off the shelf. And, you know, you don't need to break the bank with the magazines. You know, there's a couple 30-round options. There's a couple 20-round options that you can absolutely use, and you're going to be ready to go. So I know I really hyped up the M80 round, but it really can't be overstated how terrific this bullet is. It clocks in at 80 flesh damage and 41 penetration. You're going to absolutely melt anyone in tier 4 armor. Like I've said, one of the most ran armors in patch 12.12. And really, it's a round that's going to carry you through no matter what your enemy is throwing at you. And what also makes this round great is, of course, the availability. You can buy 150 of these per reset for $360, which really isn't that much. And for such a terrific round, it's absolutely a bargain. And it's what makes the RFB, in my opinion, one of the best value guns to use right now. Here we are with our RFB, and it is this is a little bit more of a decked out one. Valde, suppressor, RK1 grip, but sounds nice, shoots accurate, and man, these are free, easy kills. I think the only thing easier than getting a kill with M80s would be to hit the like button if this video has been helpful so far. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know down below if y'all want to see a budget armor video. And as always, I hope everyone has a great week, and I look forward to seeing you live on Twitch or on our next video.